Hey, so it has been a little bit. Huh. No, I'm still working on this thing. Um, yeah, but it has been a while. Where was the last time that I even actually have even checked when's my last time I streamed? Um, because there's been a lot of stuff. Uh, Not the least of which was starting a new job. I think that was about where I left off, and it kind of just started really quick, and maybe now I'm getting a little bit of breathing room, but I mean, maybe not for that long, because the baby's due a few weeks. So I don't really know if I can do this kind of stuff with any regularity, but I did do some stuff while you weren't looking. So like this is a house. So one thing I actually have to figure if I want is, do I want the house to be like at scale like this? This is kind of sort of life-size house. If anything, maybe it's a little bit big, because it looks like you can just climb through that window like that, and really it should be a little bit smaller, but you know, or do I want them abbreviated like in basically every game when they just appear smaller? So that's something I have to decide. But yeah, just been pretty busy. And just trying to do like a few things, but I've never really been sure if I had like a whole bunch of time that I could sit down and record and do a stream. And even now, tonight's not going to be very long, but I just didn't want to go too many months. I just wanted to be like, yeah, I'm still working on this, and I want to get into like a habit again of updating. So I don't know though. I mean, with the baby around the corner, don't know how that's gonna be. Not gonna give up on this, but I might have to put it down for a bit. But yeah, no, there's been a couple things that I've been doing. Like I can do wall jump. Ha. And that will be more useful. Oh man, okay, I gotta get better at doing that. And then a couple of we have Abe and Damon. One's running, one's jumping, just so I can get a couple of like behaviors that I can put on characters. I'm like, can I make them do stuff like as NPCs? And then yeah, they have dialogue too. Yeah. It's some Tagalog that Mel's gonna have to help me translate. I mean, she did help me translate, but if I want to localize the game into Filipino, okay, so then I should be able to, and I think I tried this already. Let me just get the setup. Oh, no, we want them to be solid, yeah, like that. And can I make, like, this, like, kind of rift like that? I should be able to do this. I was messing around with it a little bit the other day, just to make sure that I can do it. This is kind of why I like the whole editing in play mode. Okay, and what's good is he doesn't go through the wall. I was having that problem yesterday, and I kind of did some physics things, and now it doesn't happen, but I don't think I fixed it right, or at all, maybe. Let me just keep that going for a little bit. I also kind of capped the fall speed, otherwise he would just kind of drop at a frightening pace, and probably go through walls and things. Oh no. Yeah, so this is a thing. This is a thing that we can do. So I think though so I have like running, jumping, double jumping, wall jumping, ledge grabbing. Now that these things are in place, I think I can actually start to design like kind of a traversable world. I mean, I kind of have it already, kind of. Just this little sample of something. But I can probably just make like a bigger scale, you know, something to explore. Kind of a bit of like a first level. The game's not really going to be broken up into levels, but I mean, at least not like, you know, like a Mario or Sonic type of like level start and end. It's going to be more like a persistent world, but then it kind of changes over the course of the game. And then you kind of explore bits and pieces at a time rather than everything being open world. Like, it's not going to be open world, even though I kind of have the capability of doing that, with the whole ability to chunk the levels, which you can't really see like that, but you can see it like this, maybe. No, you can't, because the world is still too small. Well, it's divided up like that, yeah. So that's how it looks so far, yeah. One thing that I'll show you that's really been bothering me. I spent way too much time on this. I don't really need to fix it right now, but it kind of is just infuriating me. I'm gonna see if I can catch it. He kind of falls through the ground for one frame, and normally I kind of let something like this go, but oh no, oh, yeah. It's gonna take a while for me to snapshot it perfectly, but almost. Yeah, that. Yeah, he's in the ground. Never mind that he's above the ground by a pixel. I think that's an easier fix. Maybe I can even do that tonight. But this is bothering me. It used to be that he would sometimes fall through the ground, like if you were to input a jump right at this time before the collision got resolved, or, you know, he would just kind of fall through the ground for reasons. He doesn't seem to do that anymore, because, and the way that I kind of tested that was to go ahead and find him here, the instance of him, and I added this jump up and down script, which is making him jump. And if I set the delay to like something impossibly small, like, so he'll just constantly he'll jump basically as soon as he touches the ground. And he's not going down through the ground, so, you know, but, so anyway, actually, I could kind of like do this. Oh no. I'll just erase that one. I can kind of make him go higher and higher, actually. Now this roof doesn't have collision. I still gotta decide how I want to do that, because this is actually really just tiles underneath it. I didn't actually put like because it's one-way collision, and that I don't think Unity does that built in, so I just had my way of doing it, and then it's just like hiding behind the roof. So yeah, it was I spent kind of a while trying to... Oh, and then the other thing is like, and I'm just nitpicking here, I really have no business worrying about stuff like this right now. But like, if I don't make sure that like the integrity of these core systems is good early on, I don't know, it's probably going to cause a lot of problems down the road. But he's kind of like, this is harder to see, but he's kind of like jittering a little bit back and forth. Yeah, like he's like he doesn't stay in the same spot on the camera as he's in the air. But yet he kind of does. It's really like going like if you're moving. So I have to figure that out. If you're moving at a certain speed, he kind of just and for a while I thought it was because I was not respecting like the physics updates. With Unity, you're supposed to do stuff with, you know, only update rigid bodies and fixed update, and then, you know, check for your input and everything else in regular update. And I wasn't doing that properly for a while, and that's kind of what caused some other weird physics bugs, but now I am, and that's still happening, so I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but that doesn't bother me as much as the going through the ground for one frame. It's just kind of jarring. I mean, you know, sinking into the ground for like a frame, I feel like that's a little bit more of a problem. So one thing I did, and so far it seems to be helping a little bit, is manually calling the Unity's physics update simulate. I didn't want it to have to come to this. I feel like anytime you have to do this, it's kind of a hack. But the way I needed to have the tile collision and stuff happen directly after a Unity physics update, and this is the only way I can ensure to do it. I just have fixed update, call the Unity physics simulation, it does one simulation of that, then I can do the rest of my stuff. And the way I do that is just the script execution order. So physics runs, then my rigid body class runs, and then like everything else. And at least it stops people from falling through walls and floors. But you still get that annoying little, like, because maybe it's drawing before it updates the physics. I don't know. I know they're on different threads and whatever. So that's probably what it is, but yeah, also I'm using Visual Studio Code. That's another change. Starts up a heck of a lot faster, and I actually use source control now. That's another thing that I'm doing. I was backing up my work, but I was just kind of doing it manually, zipping it all up and plopping it, you know, versions of it in a folder. But now it's on GitHub. And it's just really easy to manage, just right inside Visual Studio Code, so okay, I'll take that, and then I can diff stuff. Yeah, so, let me try and, I don't know, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time tonight, but I want to try and, yeah, let me see why he's 1 pixel above the ground. Let's try and find out why that is. Because that's not ideal. You see, it's very kind of jittery and vibraty. And I think it's because when I'm resolving the collision with the floor, I think I push out 1 extra pixel that I need to. And hopefully it's as simple as that. That would be... What changed in here? Oh, it's marking warnings. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I don't need to do this anymore. This is for downloading parts of the level on the fly, streaming the level. And this is back when it was called Spellbook and it was a different game. So, yeah. um, pay no attention to that. What was I think it's just tile. Yeah. This is kind of a monster. This is like almost 1,000 lines. I don't like it. I mean, I can cut some of this stuff, but... okay, yeah, check collision for solid tile. And then you end up... This ends up being... Right, maybe it's just this. Maybe it's the +1 here that I'm doing to kind of... Because I thought it needed to be there. This is if you're coming at a solid tile from a downwards or down left velocity. It pushes you up. What happens if I just take out the +1? I thought I needed it because if I don't, because the +1 would be what puts you into the next tile's space. Rather than just being at like the top pixel of the current tile, you want to be at the bottommost pixel of the tile above. And I thought the +1 is what pushed you over that threshold. But I could be wrong. Let's see what happens. No, so you kind of pushes up one still. What's doing that? Right, you jump, you go in there, so that's not it. Even though it really seems like it should be. So maybe that +1 is doing what I intended and something else is... Let's see if... In fact, yeah, it would go in here, and the result is true, and then, yeah, and then we don't have, it would go here, it would go there. Nothing's jumping out at me. I'm going to have to stick it under the debugger. So I think... So I think we're going in here. Let me attach. Okay. Yeah, the reason what kicked off me switching over to Visual Studio Code, I was trying to attach the Visual Studio debugger one day and it just would not work. It was having like firewall port problems. And then I said, I don't feel like dealing with adding firewall exceptions. Like that should just, I don't want to deal with that. And then this just was much simpler. So this didn't give me that problem. Now, the IntelliSense is not quite as good, but so far I'm liking almost everything else about it. I was falling when I was doing this, right? Yeah. So here I go. And we do some trigonometry. So it sets its position 33, and again, so since tiles are 32 pixels, this puts me into like the bottommost pixel of. Oh, actually, yeah. No, that might be what I was thinking. It should be 32 because tiles would go to 0 to 31. So maybe that's it. But then, so I mean, here we go. Okay, and then so it's gonna set the normal to that. Okay. The resulting position, now you are at Y33. We come out of here. See, that kind of thing. See, it says up, which is the enum value, but I want to know the integer value too. And it just doesn't quite. You know, it's the IntelliSense. It's got a little bit to, leaves a little bit to be desired, but so it's going to look for where the next tile. It's going to try and check the tile above the current tile he collided with. Yeah. But there was no tile there, and thus so it sets it back to world space. Yeah, I mean, we go back out to here, and then it just sets the rigid body's position to that. Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, it seems like I should just remove that +1, and then he should go down 1 pixel. So what else was pushing him up? That +1 might have just been me being paranoid. Yeah. See, file's too big. Too large, too long. So I mean, there might be other cases that it falls into here, because I know it's getting in there, but it's not going to get in there. Getting in there? Let me see if it's taking any weird paths that I'm not expecting. What I expect is that you start out, you're falling, and then you end up in here, you go in here, I no longer have the +1, and that should be it. End of story. So, yeah, why don't you attach that? Yeah, okay. Okay, so wait. Why does he have X speed? Yeah. Bruh. What the heck? What is this starting? Why? Oh. So okay. So he's going into. So he's going into here. Okay. All right. Stop that for now. What? I don't know why he started out with a velocity of that. Should have just been like 0 and like a very small y speed going downwards. Alright, well, Fine, I'll remove the +1 from that too. So, we good now? Maybe not. Okay, so... Again, the starting speed is just not what I... Who set that? I don't have, like, my finger held down on a key or anything when I'm... Anyway. We no longer have... So, okay, so 32. Yeah, that's good. Nobody else is messing that up. So we have a Y of 32 pixels off of the current tile, which means she's going to go up one tile to pixel 0. I don't know why it keeps throwing off these little errors down here. It's not helpful information for me. Yep, and so it's going to look for a tile above the tile he just collided with. There's nothing there. Wait. Yeah, this is where it finds out is there's nothing there. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so your position now is... I guess that's correct. What do you say? And we're still up by 1. I don't know. So if I set, like, it just gets pushed back up. Even if I manually set it, it gets pushed back to there. Yeah, someone really doesn't want him to be at that position. You know? It no longer seems to be in the hands of the collision. Unless... Unless it's not strictly here. Because, yeah, here we still go. This isn't the only place this happens. Harr. Because in his fixed update, if he's grounded, he checks to see if he's still grounded. And here's where we could have some This might have been me asking this question when I was... Actually, yeah, I don't know. For a while, his position would kind of jitter a bit when he's standing on the ground, and somehow that's fixed. But this is probably what's doing it. And if it is, it's what's setting his position to like 0.03125. Oh, this is Abe. Okay, let me skip to the next. Is nobody else hitting this breakpoint? Oh. So there is some Okay, so I pressed 0 to set this to 0, and somebody, I think I've just found who wants to set him back. Yeah, it's this guy. I don't think I need this check anymore. But anyway, it looks like when we do the raycast, that happens. So there's the problem. It should be 0, 0, it's giving me 0, and then 0.03125, which is, it's 1 pixel up from what I want. Yeah, okay, I don't want to see this for Damon. Okay, this is then Mike again. Now he's at 0.13125. Abe, Damon, and then Mike again. Where is he now? Oh, I think it's because... Right. I start him off a little bit higher. Don't really need to do that, just to give a little bit of a starting point, a little bit of a runway to get into the raycast. So it's the problem with this, it's in here. Oh man. I hate debugging this code. So this should be false. Yep, false, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll do another step. This is just not a good way of doing the raycast. I need to do, like, have a way to just solve it, like, with one equation. Find the surface with, like, a line, like y is mx plus b kind of stuff, but I'm not that clever. That bit of trigonometry that you saw in the other tile collision, that's about as clever as I am. And that's because it knows it's a square solid block. For some of these other things, well, okay, so anyway, so 0.1, okay, so this should be true. And it's what returns something that I don't want. So let me go in here. Yep. Yep, we were at Y36, and now current position is 28, yeah. Pixel 28 out of this. Yep. So it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna find... What is all these errors it keeps doing? I mean, they don't affect me, it's just... Okay, yep, everything tracks so far. So, like, if you're in a solid square and you're at position 0.28, it's gonna push you up. It should push you up to 0.32. And it's not doing that. And that is what we are here to solve. Inside, correct. Not semi-solid. Oh, yeah. The stoop that he's standing on right now is a semi-solid platform. You can be under it and jump up through it. So yeah. But it was also a problem on not semi-solids, so... Point and tile. This should be false. It was true from this? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh, yeah. It's weird, but it is okay if it does this. Wait a minute, no, maybe it's not. Yeah, it is, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what I want. It does fall through and doesn't hit any of this stuff. Because this is... yeah, maybe not some of the most graceful checks, but it knows that it should be pushing you up, but any of these checks that it's doing, it's just trying to check for negatives so far. It's like, if you're in the tile but you're still moving upwards, then don't bother calling a collision yet. Because semi-solids, they are only considered solid when you're standing on them or going against their surface. So, okay. Yeah, these should be no surprises here. Yup, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so X velocity is 0. What do we do in that case? Y velocity is -1, yeah. Oh! Dear. Forgot about this +1. So, well... let me just do that. Oh, man. There is room to consolidate this stuff, I will say that. It's kind of a lot of code paths that end up in similar outcomes. Bam. Standing on the ground. His feet are grounded. He's down to earth. And here too. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, oh, I like that. I like being able to stand on the ground. I also like being able to double jump. Wish I could do that in real life. But yeah, you can... Oh, oh, oh. No. Ha, oh. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, you can wall jump off of a off of like a slanted surface like that kind of slants against you. It's kind of wonky, but you can do it. Yeah, even Abe wants to walk on the ground this time. Damon's over here. He still falls through the ground 1 frame. That's still a thing. Don't really know why. But he doesn't go through the ground, so I'm not that bothered. Wah! Oh, cool. Oh, well, okay. So I didn't even think I'd fix that problem tonight, but I did. You can now stand on blocks, floors. You don't stand 1 pixel above them. You stand on them, which is what we want. That's kind of cool. So you can, it's a little advanced tech. You can just creep off the side of the ledge and then, never mind, I can't even do it right. Well, that's why it's an advanced tech. You can creep off the edge of the ledge and then wall jump. Although that doesn't really, it's not really that useful. Alright, that's all that I'm gonna do for now. Yeah, who knows? I might be able to do another episode or 2 before the baby arrives. Once he arrives, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know if we know what we're doing. I'm still going to try and get some work done. I think the next stuff that I want to do, a couple things I want to do. One, make a version of this little mini map here with smaller houses. Because this house is basically actual size. Is like when you go in the door, you can't do that yet actually, but when you go inside, then it's about this size when you walk around. And when you come outside, it's like the same thing. So I like that, but then I'm like, it doesn't make for a fun experience. I mean, the reason why games abbreviate houses and towns to be like very tiny, you know, does that make it more fun? Does it make it less boring to travel around a lot of like just, you know, effectively empty space for the sake of what, maybe immersion? Because you're like, hey, this is actually a real house. As opposed to when you see one that's like 5 times as big as your character, then it's like, okay, it's a little hut, but games that do that are super successful, so I mean, maybe that's what I do. I'll probably make 2 maps, one where the houses are more or less actual size, and one where they're abbreviated, and just see what plays better. The other thing is getting, this is the hard one, getting characters a following behavior. Like I would have these guys follow me, and if I jump up on a platform, they can like follow me there, and that is so hard to do. There's like, yeah, A-star algorithm, and you know, there are things, but again, because of like my kind of custom level collision with the tiles and the weird shapes, that just makes it quite a bit harder. But I'll see what I can do. That's pretty high up on the list. Or is it? Maybe it's not. I mean, it's definitely a critical thing that the game needs. Do I need it right now? Yeah, I mean, if I envision like the first level of the game, the first mission, yeah, it's gonna have these guys following me, so yeah, I'm gonna need that in some form soon. So yeah, those couple things. I'll try and chip away at things when I can. If I know I'm gonna get like an unbroken hour or 2, I can stream, but can't make any promises. So we'll see. That is all for now.